The Galactic Council chamber was vast and cold, a place where silence weighed heavier than any weapon. Alien delegates from hundreds of worlds sat in floating seats, their shapes strange and varied. Some with multiple limbs, some with wings, and others with faces that seemed carved from crystal. At the center, the council leader, a towering figure with eyes that glowed like molten metal, cleared his throat. "Order," he said, and his voice echoed through the chamber like rolling thunder. "We convene today to discuss the growing presence of humanity in this sector. Their progress is alarming." A ripple of laughter ran through the assembly. The delegates had studied humans for centuries. They saw them as primitive, weak, and chaotic. Most believed they posed no threat. Some even thought the humans would destroy themselves before ever reaching the stars in full power. One of the delegates, a thin, blue-skinned creature with eyes like liquid silver, leaned forward. "Council leader," it said, its voice smooth and mocking, "do you truly believe these creatures are a threat? They barely control their own planet. Their technology is laughable. Their governments are fragmented. They cannot even stop their own wars. And now you suggest we take caution? We mock the very idea." Another delegate, a creature covered in armored scales, clapped its claws together. "Yes, let them reach the stars. They will fail as all small races fail. Do we waste our time fearing them?" The council leader's glowing eyes narrowed. "You do not understand. Humanity is not like other races. They are unpredictable. They adapt faster than any known species. They learn from mistakes. And—" his voice dropped, heavy with warning. "They are united in ways we cannot yet comprehend. The signs are clear. They prepare in silence while we assume weakness." The laughter and mockery grew louder. Some delegates even waved their appendages in dismissive gestures. "Ha! Unpredictable? They are insects trying to crawl out of a puddle," one sneered. "We have watched their fleets. Their weapons are primitive. Even their largest ships cannot match a small armada of ours. Let us focus on threats that matter, not amuse ourselves with fantasies." The council leader's face did not change. He had delivered this warning countless times, but now he could feel something different, a shadow of danger. "Mark my words," he said slowly, each word deliberate. "Do not underestimate them. Humanity may not be powerful now, but power is not always measured in size or firepower. Their unity and their resolve, it is dangerous." The chamber erupted again, this time in uproar. Delegates bickered, some arguing over how ridiculous it was to take humans seriously, others nervously whispering to themselves. The leader sighed. "Prepare all reports on human colonies. Review their technology, their fleets, and their defenses. But mark my warning, act with caution. Humanity does not forgive ignorance." As the council dispersed, most delegates ignored the caution. They returned to their planets with pride, boasting that the humans were a non-issue. Meanwhile, on Earth, the humans worked in quiet determination. They did not boast, they did not seek recognition. While alien observers laughed, humanity advanced. Scientists in sleek labs discovered new propulsion systems. Engineers in orbit built ships capable of incredible speed. Military commanders trained strategies that combined deception, intelligence, and brute force in ways no one else imagined. In a hidden command center beneath the Andes Mountains, General Elena Varga stood over a holographic table showing human fleets scattered across the solar system. Her face was calm but resolute. "They think we are weak," she said, her voice firm. "They think we fight alone. But they are wrong. Every strike, every defense, every ship, they underestimate us. And that will be their greatest mistake." A young officer approached nervously. "Ma'am, the alien surveys indicate they think our fleets are primitive. They are preparing to ignore our presence." Elena nodded. "Good. Let them underestimate us. That is the advantage we have. They mock what they cannot understand. And we will show them exactly why humanity cannot be ignored." Outside, in orbit, human ships glided silently, their surfaces gleaming under the sun. No alien observer knew the full extent of their capabilities. Some ships were armed with weapons disguised as harmless cargo. Others were equipped with technology that could disrupt alien sensors and communications. Each ship was part of a larger plan, one that had been in preparation for decades. On one colony at the edge of human space, young engineer Lien Chin adjusted the final calibration on a new experimental engine. "This will change everything," he whispered, staring at the small device. If successful, it could allow human ships to move faster than anything the aliens expected, striking unpredictably and retreating before counterattacks could reach them. But humans did not rush into war. They had patience. Strategy was key. Every movement, every invention, every communication was carefully calculated. And all of it was cloaked in secrecy, for they understood that knowledge was as much a weapon as firepower. Back in the council chamber, the mocking delegates continued their discussions. "They prepare quietly," one said. "But what can they really do? Even if they strike, they cannot defeat us. They cannot challenge the combined fleets of 100 worlds." A smaller, quieter delegate raised its voice, almost lost in the laughter. Perhaps we should not mock them so easily," it said. "I have read reports of human ingenuity. I have seen the results of their small skirmishes. Even a minor encounter with humans ends with confusion and losses on our side. We may be ignoring a danger that grows each day." The others scoffed. "Danger? They are still children learning to crawl. We deal with predators and empires. We do not fear children." The small delegate's voice hardened. "We will see." In the void between stars, humanity's signal traveled, subtle but precise, reaching distant colonies. It was a message of unity, a sign that humans were ready, watching, and waiting. The aliens who intercepted it dismissed it as random interference, a meaningless transmission. Only a few among them noticed patterns that hinted at coordination, intelligence, and unexpected strength. On Earth, in a council room lit by dim screens, human leaders observed alien movements. Maps flickered with alien fleet positions. "They think they are safe," said Admiral Tariq Al-Mansour. "They think we are weak. But the real war has not even begun." Elena Varga looked out through the observation window at the Earth below, glimmering with life. "Let them laugh," she said. "Let them mock us. Every empire that underestimates humanity falls. And when they learn the truth, it will be too late." The stars were calm that night, the galaxy unaware of the storm brewing silently. On distant worlds, the alien delegates slept in arrogance, believing humans were nothing more than a curiosity. On Earth, humanity planned, prepared, and waited, knowing that the galaxy's laughter would soon turn to fear. And in the shadows, hidden from alien eyes, the humans whispered a silent warning. "They mocked us, they ignored us, but every empire has a reckoning, and theirs is coming." The galaxy had grown quiet again after the council's meeting. Alien fleets moved slowly, confident that humanity was weak, harmless, and disorganized. But in the shadows of the outer colonies, humans were anything but idle. On the remote colony of Epsilon 7, a young captain named Mara Klein watched the stars through the viewport of her command ship. "All systems ready," she said to her crew. Her voice was calm, but her eyes burned with determination. "They think we are weak. Tonight, they will learn otherwise." The fleet around her was small, almost laughable by alien standards. 5 human ships, each sleek and modest in size, armed with concealed technology and precise, silent weapons. To any alien spy observing from a distance, they would appear as harmless cargo transports. But Mara knew better. "Captain," said Lieutenant Rami, pointing to the holographic display, "the alien fleet is approaching Epsilon 7's orbit. Sensors detect 5 large cruisers. They are moving fast, confident we will surrender." Mara smiled. "Then let's show them how confident humans can be." As the alien cruisers entered the system, they fired a warning volley of bright energy bolts, lighting the skies of Epsilon 7 with deadly streaks. To the aliens, it was an easy intimidation. To the humans, it was a signal their moment had come. Mara's fleet split instantly. Small drones darted between the planets and moons, appearing like swarms of harmless particles. But each drone carried a sensor jammer. Alien weapons faltered, their targeting systems unable to track the fast-moving, invisible threats. Now, Mara commanded. Human ships activated their true weapons. Silent pulses of energy struck the alien cruiser's engines and shield generators, crippling them before the aliens could even comprehend the attack. A small cruiser erupted in flames, debris scattering across space. The alien commanders could hardly believe what they saw. "Impossible!" one screeched, its voice echoing through the fleet. "How can these humans?" Another cruiser tried to retaliate, firing volleys of plasma and missiles. But humans had anticipated every attack. A sudden cloud of ionized particles interfered with alien sensors, sending their weapons into confusion. Another human ship appeared from nowhere, striking the alien cruiser from an unexpected angle. The attack was precise, calculated, and devastating. On Epsilon 7, civilians watched from underground shelters as flashes of light streaked across the sky. They could not see the battle clearly, but they felt the tremors and heard the distant hum of energy weapons. Their hearts pounded with a mix of fear and awe. Humanity had long trained for this moment, and now the fruits of preparation were evident. Back on the alien command ship, the fleet leader's tentacles trembled with rage. "How is this possible?" it demanded. "Their numbers are too few. Their ships are too small. They cannot be this strong." A subordinate hesitated. "Sir, they are adapting faster than we expected." The leader's eyes burned with fury. "Stop them. Destroy every human vessel." But the humans had already begun to retreat. They had no intention of staying longer than necessary. Every attack had a purpose: to demonstrate their power, to sow confusion, to teach the aliens that underestimating humans came with a cost. Mara's ship moved through the debris of the first explosion, weaving between fragments of shattered alien technology. "Status?" she asked. "Alien fleet in disarray," Rami reported. "They are retreating in multiple directions. Casualties are heavy. Our losses minimal." Mara nodded. "Good. Remember, this is only the beginning. We hit hard, we hit fast, and we leave them wondering what just happened. That is how humans win." The alien fleet struggled to regroup. Confused signals and miscommunication spread chaos among them. Some ships collided with one another. Others veered into asteroid fields, trying desperately to escape the invisible human traps. "We underestimated them," admitted a young alien officer to the fleet leader. "They are not weak. They are clever, unpredictable, and united. Perhaps we should reconsider our approach." The fleet leader shook its head violently. "No, they are still small. We will crush them. We will—" Its words cut off as another small human vessel appeared, launching a quick strike at their supply shuttle. It was gone before the aliens could respond. Mara's fleet had done exactly what they intended. They struck, surprised, and vanished, leaving the aliens confused, frustrated, and fearful. Back on Earth, the news of the Epsilon 7 battle reached human leaders through secure channels. No one celebrated loudly. Humanity did not fight for glory. But there was quiet pride and a deep understanding. The galaxy was watching now. The first strike had been a warning shot, a proof of strength and cunning. Elena Varga addressed the top commanders. "They mocked us. They thought we were weak. They laughed. And now they know better. But this is not the war. This is the message. Let them fear what they cannot understand. Let them question their assumptions. Every empire that underestimates humanity falls in time." Tonight, we reminded them of that truth. The commanders nodded. Plans for the next stages were already forming, each one more ambitious than the last. The human advantage was not in numbers or size, but in strategy, creativity, and unity. On distant alien worlds, the delegates of the Galactic Council received reports of the battle. Panic spread in quiet whispers. Some began to doubt their earlier mockery. "Perhaps the council leader was right," one said, barely above a whisper. "They are not what we thought. They are dangerous." Others refused to believe it. "This is an accident," another said. "A fluke. They cannot sustain this." But deep down, all knew humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, and the first strike was only the beginning. In the quiet of space, Mara Klein's fleet regrouped near a small asteroid field. Her crew was tired but exhilarated. "We did it," Rami said softly. Mara shook her head. "No. We sent the message. That is all. They will recover, they will plan, and they will try to retaliate. Our job is to stay ahead. We fight smart, we fight prepared, and we fight together. That is how humans win." The stars stretched endlessly around them, a silent witness to the battle and the subtle shift in galactic power. Humans had struck first, not with arrogance, but with precision. They had proven that cleverness, patience, and unity could overcome even the most powerful foes. And somewhere, across 100 light-years, alien commanders sat in disbelief, wondering how 5 small human ships had turned their fleet into chaos. The galaxy had laughed at humans for too long. Tonight, it had learned a dangerous lesson. Never underestimate humanity. The Galactic Council chamber was no longer filled with laughter. The once boastful delegates sat tense, their eyes darting to the communication screens that displayed the aftermath of the Epsilon 7 battle. The reports were clear. Humans had struck swiftly, with precision, and disappeared before the alien fleets could respond. The council leader's glowing eyes swept over the chamber. "You see now," he said calmly, though the weight in his voice could not hide his frustration. "The warnings were true. Humanity is not weak. They are clever, united, and deadly in ways we have underestimated." A scaly delegate hissed, claws tapping nervously against the armrest. "Impossible," it growled. "They are few. Their fleets are small. How can they challenge the might of 100 worlds?" Another delegate, thin and tall with a serpentine neck, spoke quietly. "It is not the number of ships or weapons that frightens me," it said. "It is the strategy. They strike where we are vulnerable. They move like shadows. They think ahead. They adapt." The chamber fell silent. The alien leaders could no longer dismiss humanity as primitive. They had seen the unexpected, and it shook the very foundation of their arrogance. Meanwhile, on Earth, humanity continued to prepare. In command centers scattered across the globe, scientists and military strategists reviewed the battle logs from Epsilon 7. Every human action had been deliberate, every maneuver calculated. They were learning from the aliens' reactions as much as the aliens were learning from them. General Elena Varga watched a simulation of the battle. "They will recover," she said. "They always do, but so will we. And next time we strike harder, smarter, and faster. The galaxy must understand that humans are not to be underestimated." Her words were not for glory. They were a reminder to her commanders that patience and intelligence were humanity's greatest weapons. The humans had no illusions about their size or resources. They relied on strategy, adaptation, and unity. That was what made them dangerous. In the depths of alien space, small pockets of fleets struggled to regroup after the human assault. Confusion spread among the commanders. Some ships drifted without orders, while others attempted desperate retreats into nearby asteroid fields. "Report!" screeched an alien general. "Where are our forces? How did they vanish so completely?" A trembling officer responded, "Sir, they used devices we cannot detect. They attacked our engines, our sensors, even our communications. Our ships are in disarray." The general's tentacles lashed the control panel. "We mocked them. We thought them weak. And now we face chaos because of it." Another officer spoke, voice quiet but urgent. "Perhaps we should consider caution. Perhaps." The council leader was right. Humans are dangerous. The general roared in anger, refusing to hear reason. But deep inside, fear had begun to take root. The aliens had laughed at humans for centuries, and now that laughter had turned to regret. On a hidden human colony near the outer edge of the galaxy, Mara Klein and her fleet prepared for their next mission. Reports of alien panic reached them through intercepted communications. Humans did not celebrate the fear they inspired. but they understood its importance. Fear of the unknown was a powerful weapon, and the galaxy's underestimation of humanity had just become humanity's greatest advantage. Mara's eyes narrowed as she studied the next target on the holographic map. They think we are done. They think we will stop. She turned to her crew. We do not stop. We do not retreat. Every action we take teaches them that underestimating humans is their greatest mistake. Lieutenant Rami smiled faintly. And every step forward makes them weaker? Yes, Mara said. Their confusion, their mistakes, their arrogance, these are tools we use. The council mocked caution. We will show them the cost of ignorance. Back in the council chamber, the alien delegates argued fiercely. Some urged immediate retaliation, while others suggested negotiation, fearing the humans' growing strength. The debate grew heated, voices overlapping in panic and disbelief. A small, quiet delegate spoke, almost lost in the noise. If we continue to ignore the truth, if we fail to act wisely, we risk losing not just fleets, but entire worlds. Humans are not simply another species. They are a force we cannot predict, a force we cannot control. The others scoffed at first, but doubt had been planted. Each delegate remembered the reports. The precise strikes, the sudden disappearances, the ability of humans to adapt and outthink even the most experienced commanders. The council leader observed silently. He had warned them, and now regret was everywhere. The seeds of fear had taken root in even the boldest minds. The laughter that once filled this chamber had been replaced by tense whispers. Meanwhile, humanity continued its quiet march toward the stars. On Earth, General Elena Varga convened a council of leaders. They will regroup, she said. They will think they can strike back. And they will try. But we will be ready. Every step we take, every fleet we build, every trap we lay, it is all preparation for what is coming. They mocked us once. They will not mock us again. The commanders nodded. Each understood the lesson. Patience, intelligence, and unity were more powerful than sheer size. Humanity's strength lay not just in its technology, but in its mind, its courage, and its ability to turn fear and arrogance into weapons. Across the galaxy, alien fleets moved cautiously. The once dismissive delegates now whispered warnings, shared intelligence, and double-checked every report of human activity. The Epsilon 7 battle had shaken their confidence, and the humans had shown that they could not be predicted. And while the aliens panicked, humanity watched, learned, and planned. Every human knew that the Council's regret was their opportunity. Every misstep by the aliens became a lesson, a chance to outthink, outmaneuver, and outlast them. The stars were silent witnesses to the slow shift in power. Humanity had struck first, and the galaxy would never view them the same way again. The lesson was clear, whispered across every human colony and starship. Never mock humans. Never ignore their cunning. And never, ever assume they are weak. The Council had laughed at caution. Now they would regret it, and humanity's wrath was only beginning. The stars burned bright as human fleets moved in perfect formation, gliding silently across the void. No alarms, no signs, just a quiet, unstoppable force, ready to strike at the heart of the alien armada. On the flagship Intrepid, General Elena Varga stood on the bridge, her eyes scanning the holographic display. Thousands of ships, countless alien vessels, stretched across the galactic sector like a dark wave. Yet she did not flinch. Humanity's power lay not in numbers, but in strategy, cunning, and the ability to strike where the enemy least expected. "Report," she said. Lieutenant Rami's voice was steady, tinged with excitement. "Alien fleets are unaware of our true strength. Their sensors have been blinded by our decoy drones. They have no idea we are already in striking range." Elena nodded. "Good. Then we give them a lesson they will never forget." Across the alien lines, commanders panicked. The Council's regret had not faded. The reports from earlier skirmishes spread like wildfire. Human ships could appear anywhere, strike anywhere, and vanish without a trace. Yet many aliens believed sheer numbers would save them. They were about to learn the cost of underestimating humanity. "Form defensive positions," one alien leader screamed, sending orders to hundreds of ships. "We cannot allow humans to breach our lines." But the humans did not attack in a predictable way. Each fleet moved like a shadow, weaving between asteroid belts and debris fields. Suddenly, small groups split off, attacking isolated alien ships with precision strikes. Energy beams cut through hulls, disabling engines and shields almost simultaneously. Alien ships that thought they were safe found themselves surrounded by invisible enemies. "Shields down on Cruiser 9, reported a human officer. "Engines offline. They can't escape." Mara Klein piloted her small strike team with skill born of years of preparation. Her ship darted between debris, launching silent missiles that disabled communications on a massive alien destroyer. It floundered helplessly, unable to coordinate with the rest of its fleet. The alien commander's panic spread. "How is this possible? They cannot be everywhere at once," one screeched. "They adapt," hissed another. "Every move we make, they have anticipated it." On Earth, the human command center watched the battle unfold through advanced observation arrays. Elena Varga's calm voice echoed through the room. "Remember, this is not chaos. Every strike is deliberate. Every retreat, every advance is part of the plan. The galaxy may fear us soon, but fear is earned through intelligence and unity." The fleets moved as one, coordinated and precise. Humans launched attack drones that disabled alien fleets' weapons before the first shots even reached human ships. They struck supply lines, supply ships, and command vessels, leaving the alien armada in confusion. Entire formations broke apart, leaving gaps that humans exploited immediately. "Another cruiser down," shouted a young officer. "They're retreating. They're falling apart." "Yes," Elena said softly. "And this is only the beginning. Humanity's wrath is not just power. It is cunning, patience, and relentless determination." In the heart of the alien fleet, the leaders argued furiously. "We underestimated them," shouted one. "We thought they were weak, disorganized, and small. How did 5 fleets, no, dozens of fleets, cause such destruction?" A smaller alien delegate, trembling, whispered, "They think differently. They work together. They adapt. We cannot anticipate their next move." The others ignored the warning. Pride still blinded them, but their arrogance no longer masked their fear. Every ship that fell, every plan that failed, reminded them that humans were not ordinary enemies, they were extraordinary. Back in the battle, Mara Klein's strike team found themselves face to face with a massive alien battleship. It was bigger, faster, and heavily armed. But humans did not panic. "Focus on the weak points," Mara ordered. "Engage sensors, disable communications, then hit engines. Do not waste energy on their shields. They will fall with precision strikes." Her team moved like clockwork. Within moments, the battleship was crippled, drifting helplessly in space. The alien crew scrambled in panic, realizing too late that humans had turned superior size into a disadvantage. From a distance, Elena watched the progress on her display. "This is the essence of humanity," she said quietly. "We may be fewer, we may seem small, but when we strike together, when we use our minds and our courage, we are unstoppable." The alien fleet began to scatter. Chaos spread like wildfire. Ships collided, shields failed, and commanders were forced to retreat in disarray. The humans, however, did not pursue blindly. Every move was calculated, ensuring maximum effect with minimal risk. They had shown their strength, and they would continue to do so until the aliens understood the price of arrogance. In the outer colonies, reports of human strikes spread fear. Alien worlds whispered warnings of the humans who had struck like shadows and vanished without trace. Even the bravest leaders began to doubt their assumptions. The laughter that had once greeted humanity's presence was gone, replaced by whispers of fear and regret. As the battle ended, the humans regrouped near a neutral asteroid field. Ships were damaged but operational. They had struck hard, and the aliens had learned a terrifying lesson. Humanity's wrath was not measured in fleet size alone. It was measured in strategy, unity, and the relentless spirit of a species that refused to be underestimated. Mara Klein looked at the stars, calm but determined. They mocked the council. They thought humans were weak. And now, she clenched her fists. They know better. This is only the beginning. Humanity will not stop until the galaxy respects its strength. General Elena Varga addressed the fleet over the intercom. Today, we have shown the galaxy what humans are capable of. We fight with intelligence, courage, and unity. Remember this feeling. Remember the fear we inspired. And prepare, because humanity's wrath has only just begun. The stars were silent witnesses to humanity's rise. For centuries, humans had been underestimated. For centuries, the galaxy had mocked them. Tonight, every empire learned a painful truth. Do not underestimate humanity. Do not ignore them. And do not mock their caution, because when humans strike, their wrath is absolute. The remnants of the alien fleet retreated in chaos, but humanity did not stop. Across the void, human fleets moved with precision, striking where the enemy was weakest and leaving confusion behind. Every step had been planned, every maneuver calculated. The galaxy had underestimated humans for too long, and now the turning point was near. On the flagship Intrepid, General Elena Varga stood at the command bridge, her eyes fixed on the holographic display of the alien homeworld. The planet was heavily fortified, surrounded by fleets that still believed sheer numbers could save them. Yet Elena's expression was calm. Humanity's greatest strength was strategy, not size, and today strategy would win. Prepare all ships, she said. This is where we change the course of this war. The enemy expects brute force, but we will give them precision and surprise. Lieutenant Rami leaned over the display. Sensors detect multiple ambushes along our path. Ma'am, they are desperate, trying to slow us down. Good, Elena replied. Let them expend their energy. Every failed strike teaches them how dangerous we are. As the human fleets approached the alien homeworld, scouts reported a massive trap. Alien cruisers hid among asteroid fields, ready to strike. Many human officers felt tension in the air. This was the first time they faced such a deliberate setup. Mara Klein's squadron took point, weaving through the asteroids with skill. Keep formation tight, she ordered. Don't fire until I give the signal. The trap sprung. Alien ships fired from hidden positions, bright beams cutting through the darkness. But the humans were ready. Their shields absorbed the initial hits and countermeasures jammed alien targeting systems. Missiles fired blindly into space, hitting nothing but rocks. Return fire, Mara commanded. Human ships launched precise volleys at the alien ships' weak points, disabling engines and communications. The ambush quickly turned into a disaster for the aliens. From orbit, Elena watched calmly. We do not panic, she said. We adapt. The galaxy thinks humans are small, weak, and slow. But watch how we turn their traps into victory. In the alien command chamber, panic had reached its peak. They are inside the trap, one officer shouted. How can they be here? How are we failing? They think differently, hissed another. Every move we make, they anticipate. They are not like other races. The general's tentacles trembled. This cannot be. They are few. They are small. How? But even as they panicked, humans continued their assault. Every strike was precise. Supply lines were cut. Communications were severed. Alien cruisers collided in confusion, and some turned on each other by mistake. Chaos spread faster than any human weapon. On a distant moon, Mara's squadron discovered the alien flagship attempting to flee. We've found their command vessel, she said. They think they can escape, but we will show them human resolve. With careful maneuvers, the human squadron trapped the flagship. Mara's ship fired a series of silent pulses that disabled engines and shields. Alien commanders scrambled, their plans collapsing. For the first time, fear overtook arrogance. From the flagship Intrepid, Elena monitored the situation. This is the turning point, she said. The enemy believes they control the battlefield, but they do not. They cannot anticipate the unity, courage, and intelligence of humanity. Back on Earth, human leaders watched the battle unfold. Reports from the front lines detailed the collapse of alien coordination, the confusion spreading among their fleets, and the courage of human crews facing overwhelming odds. No one celebrated. Humans did not fight for glory, but they understood the significance. Humanity was no longer merely surviving. Humanity was winning. The Alien Council convened in crisis. Delegates argued fiercely, some calling for retreat, others for negotiation. "We must find a way to stop them," one shouted. "We cannot lose our homeworld." A small, quiet delegate whispered, "It may already be too late. They are not merely attacking, they are teaching us. Every strike, every trap, every maneuver is a lesson. Humanity's strength is not in weapons alone. It is in their mind, their unity, their courage." Others scoffed, unwilling to face the truth. But doubt had taken root. The Council could no longer dismiss humans as weak. The turning point had arrived. In orbit above the alien homeworld, human fleets regrouped. Ships were damaged but functional. Mara Klein and her squadron prepared for the final push. "This is it," Mara said. "We have broken their defenses, confused their fleets, and exposed their weaknesses. Now we deliver the final blow, or at least the first warning of what is to come." General Elena addressed the fleet. "Remember, we fight with intelligence, courage, and unity. Today, the galaxy sees humans not as weaklings, but as a force to be reckoned with. Every empire that underestimates us will regret it. Today marks the turning point. Humanity's wrath is no longer a threat, it is reality." On the alien homeworld, fear spread among civilians and soldiers alike. Whispers of the human attack reached every corner of the planet. The once confident delegates of the Council now trembled at the thought of facing a species they had mocked for centuries. And in the depths of space, humans prepared for the next phase of the campaign. The turning point had been reached. Humanity had proven that size, numbers, and arrogance were no match for intelligence, unity, and courage. The stars held their silence as a new chapter began. The galaxy had learned, painfully and clearly, that humanity could not be ignored and could not be defeated through fear or intimidation alone. Never underestimate humanity. The alien homeworld lay in ruins. Smoke and fire streaked the skies as fleets of crippled ships drifted aimlessly in orbit. Once proud civilizations trembled at the mere mention of humans, a species they had mocked and underestimated for centuries. On the bridge of the flagship Intrepid, General Elena Varga watched the planet below. The battle was over, not through mindless destruction, but through strategy, courage, and relentless unity. Humans had struck where the enemy was weakest, turned their arrogance into vulnerability, and shown the galaxy what it truly meant to face humanity. "We have done what was necessary," Elena said softly. "Not for glory, but for survival, for understanding. They mocked us. They ignored caution. They learned the cost." Across the galaxy, the remnants of alien fleets attempted to regroup, but morale was broken. Many leaders surrendered, choosing survival over continued war. Even the Council, once arrogant and dismissive, bowed to reality. Humanity's strength was undeniable. In the quiet of space, human fleets moved with precision, securing key systems and ensuring the galaxy understood the new order. Ships carried aid, supplies, and messages. Humanity did not conquer for cruelty, but for stability, for order, and for peace. Mara Klein piloted her squadron through the debris field of alien cruisers. "They thought they could resist us," she said to her crew. "They believed in their strength. And yet, here we are. Victory does not always come from force alone. It comes from intelligence, courage, and unity." Her crew nodded in quiet pride. Each member understood the lesson. Humans were not just survivors, they were architects of their own destiny, capable of reshaping the galaxy without surrendering their humanity. On Earth, leaders gathered to plan the next steps. Humanity would not dominate through fear, but through example. The aliens who had survived the conflict would see that humans were not only strong and clever, but fair. Empires would respect humans not because they feared them, but because they understood the cost of underestimating them. General Elena addressed the council. We have shown the galaxy that humans cannot be ignored. But we must remember, our strength is not in domination, but in unity, courage, and intelligence. Let this be the new standard. Every alliance, every negotiation, every challenge we face, humans will be ready. On distant alien worlds, whispers spread. The humans, they are unlike any race we have seen. They do not fight like others. They adapt. They plan. And when they strike with precision. They are extraordinary. Even the once proud council realized the truth. Humans had changed the balance of power, not through arrogance or aggression, but through cunning, courage, and relentless preparation. Their wrath had been felt. Their wisdom had been shown. And the galaxy would never see them the same way again. In the outer colonies, young engineers, pilots, and strategists worked tirelessly. Humanity's legacy was being built, not through conquest, but through achievement. Ships were constructed, defenses improved, and knowledge shared across worlds. The galaxy had been reminded. Humans were a force, not because they were the largest, strongest, or most violent, but because they never gave up, never underestimated, and never failed to adapt. Mara Klein looked out at the stars, calm but resolute. This is just the beginning, she said. The galaxy now knows our strength. They know not to mock us, not to ignore us. But the stars are vast. And humans are just getting started. General Elena nodded. A new order has begun. One built on courage, unity, and intelligence. One where humanity will always rise to the challenge. They may have mocked us once, but the galaxy will remember us forever. And somewhere, across countless worlds, the name of humanity spread like wildfire. A species small in number, yet immense in courage, cunning, and unyielding spirit. A species that had been underestimated for centuries, and had proven that when humans strike, the galaxy listens. The stars were quiet, yet the silence was filled with power, promise, and warning. Never underestimate humanity. Never ignore their cunning. And never mock their caution, for when humanity moves, the universe itself feels its wrath.